Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a brief recap of how I traded today, the 30th of July, with our Elite Range Bar trading system. And, still definitely summer trading going on. It's hard to make those really big days, but you can still make some alright pips just by following the basic setups. And so I'll show you some RB3 and RB4 trades today with EU. There's also some trades available with Aussie USD and Euro Yen today that I saw, but I'll just focus on the Euro ones for the purpose of this video. There wasn't really anything over the course of Frankfurt hour in here. This is our range bar price action. We didn't have any valid setups in there. Our first valid setup came as price dropped at London Open. And we had what we call a type 3 reversal setup here, and hit all our criteria that we look for. And some of those things are on a little bit, another M5 chart that we use with a bit more information on it to take some of those reversals. But for the most part, we do just focus on the range bars in terms of what we're looking for, patterns, short-term momentum, all of those sorts of things. So we had along here. I took this one up into this little choppy area up here. I was hoping it would take another leg higher, but when it failed, when it gave that false break, I just took my pips there. The thumbs down, all the thumb down in here, they're all trades that if you're quite aggressive, if you're feeling quite aggressive, you could have taken them. They were valid in that sense if you wanted to go aggressively after the market, after trying to catch every move, but I wasn't really doing that today. I only tend to do that either when when the market's moving really well, when there's some big swings, when I'm up a fair number of pips, then I might take some of those more aggressive trades. But for the most part, I just stuck with the basic tried and true sort of setups. And so we came down here, and then we had at the same area where we failed before, our double bottom here, we had another type 3 long, and this one I was hoping, based on that double bottom and some other factors as well, some volume, some other things, that we would end up pushing up to the 2300. So I was holding on to that one, and it didn't happen, and it came back down, and so I just took a break even on that. There was an opportunity to take about 5 or 6 pips, but I figured the reward of trying to hold for the 2300 was more worthwhile, and that it still had a reasonable chance of doing that. So I did leave it and just took the break even on that. There was a possible continuation short here I did not take, but I did take the one later, and it was different in a couple ways that we go into in the course that made it a little bit more of a by the books type of setup. But at the same time, it was very extended once it came around, and so I knew that if it didn't go, I wasn't going to be taking a full loss on it, especially when it just barely broke this low, came back. So I just took a 3 pip loss on it. Max loss, if I would have taken it, would have been about 5 pips. So it's not, even a full loss really isn't too bad in the grand scheme. But this big move up here, unfortunately, we didn't have any valid setups that came for that. And then there wasn't really much over London lunch. I wasn't focused on the charts, and that's not uncommon. But start focusing on them as we get a little bit closer to New York Open, and we did have a nice type 1 short, which ended up being a good mover. And once it came down into here, we looked like the 50 might be holding. I just kind of mentally tightened up my stop. I wasn't going to take more than about a 3 pip loss. One of those small losses, but I didn't move to break even, which would have been safe anyways. But then it ended up moving down for us over the course of New York Open 1. And I ended up getting a really good trade out of that for 28 pips. Could have done a little bit better once we had this final exhaustive burst down here, but I did try to give it a bit more room, see if it might continue on, and just took my pips once we came back fairly hard there. Like I said before, these thumbs down were a couple you could potentially take as well, but I usually try and avoid most trades during London lunch. Usually I'm not even around. I'm watching the computer, watching the charts, but I just start focusing as we get a little bit closer to the New York Opens. And then as we got later in here, we didn't have any RB3 valid setups, but we did have some that came up on the RB4 that I liked, and I took. So as you can see here, there's, like I said, a couple RB4 longs, and I took both of them. There were only RB4 trades of the day that I went for, mostly focused on RB3, but these I really liked. I liked the the reversal pattern in terms of what was going on here, and saw a couple type 1 opportunities. Now this first one I did take a full loss on. The bar is 4 pips, entered a pip above. I got out actually at the worst possible spot, just right down there as it came a pip below. It's that's what happens sometimes when you have small stops. Occasionally they just bust through and then will go the other way. Most of the time it does serve us well though. If it does come below for that entry spot, it's generally going to go a little bit further. But I took the full loss there, and then it came back and gave me a second opportunity to get long, another valid opportunity, and so I took it. And it ended up paying for it quite well, because I had the -6 pips and then 20 pips as I let this one go, and I tried to hold it for a while. And basically on this kind of double top in here as it came down, I got out. After the first one, I moved. I was going to take pips if it came down below 50, and I gave it a little bit more room to go. But we talk about all that management stuff in the Elite Range Bar course as well, in terms of ways that we can use range bars to manage our trades. And so yeah, that was all of the trades today for the EU that I took. So there's 6 trades, also a number more that you could have had. There was more than 10 available opportunities today, but 6 trades, 3 wins, 1 break even, 2 losses, and 49 pips. So for summer trading, when things are relatively slow, ranges aren't too big, the swings aren't too big most days, that's not too bad at all. And if you've got other pairs that you're watching as well, there's definitely some potential, especially if you've got a little bit of experience with this, and you can still remain focused while having multiple pairs. There's definitely a lot of potential with some of the other pairs as well. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or anything, you can leave them on the YouTube video and I'll get back to you.